Good morning. We got a little project for today. I've got our the sink water filtration system put in. This is a 10 UB water drip brown filtration system. I was looking at the Berkeley's and the other one, I can't think what it's called. The standalone, you pour the water in and they're pretty pricey. I decided I'd go for one just right now for hooking to the sink. I found this one. I picked this one out because it comes with its own fountain. It ain't together yet. I got all the parts laid out, but this fountain, you mount it to your sink. The filter, it goes under the sink and it's got all the lines, it's got the accessory kit, it's got everything you need other than the tools and somebody to crawl on the sink and do it. Which be my job today. But here's the parts. Comes with both hoses. It's got the two screws to mount the filter element to the wall. Of course, thread tape for this fitting here. Which that fitting comes with two adapters. It'll fit the 3/8 or the 1/2 inch, which is good. This is the adapter for your fountain. It actually is made to sit in this hole, but I don't want to lose my sprayer. The sprayer is very handy, especially with big pots, canning pots, canners. Don't want to lose that. So I found a drill bit. Add all my stuff. See if I can. It had a centering bit made in it. Big heavy drill bit, and I could push it through the stainless steel. Stainless steel ain't always fun to drill. Of course, the sinks are thin. If you can never get an opening, you've got it made. I'm gonna mount ours here. Let it hang off into the sink. That way we can fill the glass up. It's separate. It goes on top. This valve I showed you goes on top of the cold water valve for the sink, so it's separate from your faucet. You don't have to turn the faucet on in order to use this. You can use this separately, even though you can cut it all off of the same valve. If something happens, you can cut it all off. So it'll be it does 8,000 gallons. This filter is good for 8,000 gallons, so you can get 8,000 gallons of drinking water from over here and not mess with what you wash dishes with and other things. We're going to mount it here, which will be a little different. That way I've got my sprayer, I've got our filtered water, and then we got a regular sink water. It comes with everything here is quick connect. You actually have to put together. You can see there's a quick connect fitting here. It goes for the fountain. It actually snaps on there. Hooks the hose to it. Got locks so you don't lose it. You don't fall off and spray water everywhere. The hoses are marked. I mean, pretty simple kit. It says it average of 3 minutes. What it takes to hook it up, but I thought I would show this on a video. You can see all the pieces that slides into the last. You just push it to the top. Got O-rings. But it's time to get started. Well, I bet you can guess where we're at now. I've got you out of the sink with me. Well, kind of. I can't fit through the opening, but my arms is in here anyway. It's amazing how much stuff can fit under a sink. I went to clean this thing out, kitchen sink's what? Maybe 2 foot by 3 foot, 6 square feet. You live in the house long enough, I think you can get 600 square feet of stuff under it. I had never seen so much stuff come out from under here. Like stuff I hadn't seen in years. Pans and dishes and pipe plates and plastic containers and but I got under here anyway. You can see our water valves come through the bottom, comes up out of the floor. This old house doesn't have studs, so there's no place in the wall for plumbing. All your plumbing has to be run through the floor. It's just a really old house. But I got under here, I was going to cut the water off, get everything ready, get the camera going. the cold water valve didn't work. I had to go buy one. That cost me a trip to the hardware store. Prices has definitely went up on things. That's probably the most I've ever gave for a simple water valve, but gotta have it. I've got this thing started on here. You see it sits on top of the valve. This is the one for the sink. This is the one for the filter. It just screws on. It's got O-rings in it. It's kind of like your line here that I'm going to put on top here in a minute. It all goes together with O-rings. You just tighten it with like a crescent wrench or adjustable pliers or something. Don't get rough with it. Even though it's high or expensive to buy, you can still break it real easy. But I'm going to put this stuff together and then I'll turn the camera back on because this is a stretch for me to do to begin with. So, hang on. Well, I got the line, I got the valve back on the line. I got the new valve on top of that valve. And I got the line back to the cold water side of the sink back on. Now this one came already installed here. So I didn't have to do it, but it is extra long and it is very unruly. It's hard to deal with. Like I said, you can cut it off, which is alright. I probably will cut it off, but right now I had to tie it out of the way because it's really being aggravating. But I was going to show you the sticker. I forgot to show you the sticker a while ago. It comes with a sticker so you can line up your screw holes. That way you put the screws in, hang the filter. I've got mine stuck up here under the sink pretty high because I'm trying to get it out of the way because all the stuff that was under here, we need all the room we can get. I'm going to put the screws in, get the filter mounted, poke the lines in. I'll bring you back when I get a little further along. I've got the filter mounted to the back of the sink. I put the 2 screws in, left them out about 1/8 of an inch. The diagram's pretty close. I put it right in the center of the marks and it does slide down over. It's a little tough. The filter's marked, ends on this side, outs on that side, so the water line goes in on this side. I'm not going to plug it in until we get the fountain in because that way I can plug both lines in, and if I have to take the filter down to plug it, I can still slide it off the screws and do it. Or if you can move to the top side of the sink, thank goodness. Drill the hole out a little bit bigger and get the fountain in there. We're getting close. I told you earlier I drilled that with this bit here that had the starting end on it. Had the starter bit, or I'm going to call it a center bit. That got the hole started. That's what it took, something heavy, knock a small hole. But you got to step drill something thin like this, especially stainless. I went and got my drill bits out, and I stepped it up one size at a time, which it don't cut much at a time, but you wind up with a lot smoother surface, a lot smoother hole. It's it started fitting around a 7/16, so a 7/16 bit is big enough to make it fit without being really loose. It should fit tightly. But it's going to sit like that. I got to put the nut on the bottom of it, plug the line in it. We'll do all that on the bottom. We'll set it something like that. We'll have our drinking water, we'll have our sink water, and I still have my sprayer. That was the important thing. Yep, back out of the sink again. Well, here's the parts we have left. We got a quick connect. We got the hose. I can show you. I got it mounted. Got the plastic nut. To tighten the plastic nut, I used that small crescent wrench. It'll fit in between the grooves. You can snug it down pretty good. This quick connect connects right on the end of that stainless steel stem of the fountain. I'm gonna connect it to the hose first. Quick connect, you push it in and you pull back on it. When you pull back on it, it actually locks it tighter. And it comes with some plastic pieces to make sure. Because if you push in on that hose and push in on that gray piece right there, you could actually unlock the hose. With that end, you shouldn't be able to unlock. It should be permanent. So I'm going to crawl up in the hole and put this on the stainless steel. I'm going to crawl up there and put it on the bottom of the fountain. I don't think I can hold the camera and get in the right position to do that. So I'll plug it up, put the lock on it, and I'll show it to you. See, it plugged on just like it did on the hose. Works the same way. Push it up on it, pull back on it a couple of times, tug on it. Don't get real rough, but tug on it, make sure it's locked. Then put the little blue extra lock on it. That way it can't be unlocked if something bumps it. You know, all the many things that can be under a sink might actually get against it and bump it. I've got the lines connected. I left the extra on this one. That way I've always got some extra line if something happens. I can always cut it off and move it. This line's similar to air brake line that you find on vehicles that runs air brakes. It's the same size, or looks to be the same size as air brake line. So if you're going to trim it, cut it off like I did the second one out. Make sure you cut it straight. Put it against a flat surface. Use something sharp. Don't jagger it. Try to make it smooth as possible. But the quick connects in the filter, just like the one I showed you. You push in, pull back, push them in pretty good. Now they go in probably over a ½ inch, almost 3/4 of an inch, and then pull back on them. They shouldn't pull out. You should feel it get tight. They all work the same way. Let's get this thing finished here, because I'm ready to try it. I'm gonna get me some dishwashing liquid to put on these O-rings, just to make sure they're slick, and they'll wash off. Just pop it down in there. Now that's filtered water. It says let it run for 5 minutes. Make sure everything's flushed out of all their components and how they're filtered. And now we have very well filtered water. You've seen the sheet I put on the video earlier. It takes out a lot of the deposits. It don't take everything out. You got to have a more expensive filter, but this should help the taste and help her digest this water better. Hope you enjoyed our crazy video. I don't agree with their 3-minute installation. Maybe 3 minutes if you could stand up and plug it together. But I've been plumbing a long time. Plumbing never goes the way you want it to. But I think this is going to be a great blessing. Y'all have a good week. Like the video. Subscribe if you ain't subscribed. God bless.